As I record this today, January 6th, 2025, it is the 20th anniversary of comic book podcasting. I published the very first comic book podcast, the Pipeline Podcast, over at comicbookresources.com on January 6th, 2005. I had recorded it on the 5th, I posted it on the 6th, and as I noted when I dug up the old RSS feed, I accidentally described it as a Tuesday in the feed when actually it was a Thursday. Thankfully, while that information is in the feed, it doesn't really impact anything, and nothing broke, so the first episode did get out to everybody. I'm kind of claiming this title on a bit of a technicality. It's not like I created the comic book podcasting world and everyone followed in my shadow or anything crazy like that. My ego's not that big, thank you. There was something definitely in the air at that time. It was about a month after Wired Magazine had a very popular article talking about podcasting. People in the tech scene had been talking about podcasting for weeks and months at that point. I mean, the word podcast itself, I think, was barely a year old at that point. Happened to coincidentally get there first and was followed by other people who wanted to do the same thing in the days, weeks, and months ahead. Many of them with backgrounds in radio or media or communications, that kind of stuff, the kind of technical people who would have a microphone at home and know how to record themselves on their computer to make a podcast. I'm thinking especially of John Suntress with Word Balloon, who's still going after 20 continuous years. He didn't quit, unlike some people, me. He was from Chicago radio, and now he's been doing interviews for 20 years. It's incredible and crazy to think about. The first round of the Pipeline Podcast ran officially 6 years. It was weekly basically through 5, and that last year was kind of hit or miss. Life was changing out from underneath me. I'd gotten married, had a kid, changed jobs, all that kind of stuff, and life got in the way, and I took some time off. People had asked me over the years if I was ever going to return to the podcast, and I did back in 2019. That lasted for just shy of 100 episodes, and in fact, if I counted up right, I think there were 96 numbered episodes plus 3 bonus episodes that went out. So it is possible that this recording you're listening to right now is basically Pipeline Podcast Volume 2, episode number 100. It's a special anniversary episode, so huzzah for that. But mostly I just wanted to kind of mark the moment as we hit the 20th anniversary. I'm sure lots of podcasts will be talking about it. I've heard some of them already mention it this year in the first week of the year, looking at their year ahead. So looking forward to all the memories that might come flooding back in the days, weeks, and months ahead. To all the comics podcasters out there, both present and past, even some of you who will be doing it in the future, no doubt, keep up the good work. It is work. People don't always realize that. It's not just the fun and games, especially doing interviews. Those are fun, but those take up an awful lot of time and energy. And to those people who do that, I'm jealous. I wish I had the time in life to put aside for that kind of stuff and to do all the editing that comes afterwards, or the talent to just flat out do it live and then post it. That would be awesome too. Thank you, all of you, for providing me with all the entertainment over the years. I am a complete podcast addict. I use the Overcast podcasting app, and that just this year started doing annual recaps where I found out that my top 10 podcasts I listened to of the year, and 2 or 3 of them were comic related, depending on your definition. I listened to them for individual podcasts 30, 40 hours over the course of a year. And I subscribe to, I don't even know how many podcasts anymore. I think it's over 100, to be honest. Some of them are defunct, and not all of them I listen to every week. But thank all of you for entertaining me and for entertaining everybody over the years, and here's to many more of them. I have no plans on bringing the Pipeline Podcast back again. If I do, you'll probably find it here on YouTube, to be honest. I have a playlist that YouTube has flagged as a podcast, which is incorrect. Let me just give you the hill I will die on. It is not a podcast by definition unless there's an RSS feed that you can subscribe to and have the episodes shipped directly to your podcast player. If you're hosting your podcasts on YouTube, they're not podcasts because you can't have that subscription. YouTube does not offer that. It offers a free hosting, facility, which is great. It offers the biggest thing of all, and that is the potential to bring new eyeballs to your show. But just because you talk about comics or just because you have an interview show about comics, it doesn't necessarily mean you're a podcaster, which is fine. I mean, do what you want to do. For me, podcasts are audio and video both, because that is part of the spec. The original podcast specs include video as well as audio. You need to have that RSS feed that someone can subscribe to. It's more and more important these days, especially in an era where when comic book podcasting started, there were about 1,000 podcasts total. And now you can add 3 zeros to that number and still not count for half of the total podcasts that are out there in the world today. But it's no easy grind to do it successfully. So to all of you who are still doing it, thank you. I wish you all luck. Comic book podcasting is awesome. I'll be listening to many of you. Thank you all for listening to this sort of pseudo podcast episode, and keep hanging around, because I'll be here on YouTube, and I'll be, of course, on the website at pipelinecomics.com. If you have any questions, criticisms, or complaints about this particular video, drop me a line at augie, AUGIE, at pipelinecomics.com, and I'll talk to you again real soon. Happy anniversary, everybody.